So the tush push talks have been tabled by the NFL for later on as they can, quote, better evaluate the argument. That's what I'm assuming. They're going to better evaluate their argument and why they're going to try to sway teams to the other side. Now, I think you need 24 votes in order to pass, which, that's a lot of votes. But my issue with the whole tush push narrative is you've got some truly baby shit soft teams out there. And there's one guy that I'm looking at. One guy that people don't want to rip around Philly because he's local. Sean McDermott can go kick rocks, pound sand, and swim in a lake for as far as I'm concerned. Sean McDermott's a rat. And there's a reason why Sean McDermott can't get over the hump. There's a reason why Sean McDermott gets to the AFC Championship game every year and seems to come up short. Because he's a loser. Because he's got loser mentality when it comes to this argument. Let me just say right now, if you are an NFL fan and you think for 1 second that Sean McDermott, that Matt LaFleur, that really any coach gives a rat's ass about player safety, you're kidding yourself. But this is a narrative that's been thrown out there that it's unsafe for the players because what? Because one or two guys might get injured, right? I'm sorry, are we watching football or are we watching like Quidditch? They might get in. Like, where's the line then? Are we going to stop stiff arms because they look bad? You kind of tried to stop the lowering your shoulder thing. That didn't really work. You might as well just stop goal line sneaks. For Sean McDermott to come out and say it is really puzzling to me because he's got a horse of a quarterback who should be good at the tush push. He should be great at it. And yet baby shit soft Sean McDermott comes out and is clarifying player safety. Sean, you stop. Nothing to do with player safety, bud. Nothing to do with it. Matt LaFleur, we all saw what happened when your team tried to run the push. It was an unmitigated disaster. It is a meme that will live in infamy, and it makes you look really bad that the Packers are the ones that brought this up. Let's call it what it is. This is a play that the Eagles do better than everybody else, and you've got some mentally soft, weak teams that go, we can't stop it, so it's not fair. It's not fair that we can't do it. We tried a few times, but we can't stop it. Like, kudos to the former NFL players out there that are championing to keep this and saying how soft it is, that you've got organizations trying to get rid of it, that it's not a quote, it's not a football. I love that. It's not a football play. What the? At one point, the forward pass wasn't a football play. What are we talking about? They got rid of the wedge back in like 1920 because it literally killed someone. When you watch the push, is that killing anybody? Has anyone died from the tush push, or are we just getting 2 to 3 yards? I must have missed it. I watch a lot of Eagles games. I didn't see anyone die from it. Yet I've seen some really vicious hits that look real bad. But yet, no. It's all about player safety. When you really think about it, the push might be one of the safer plays in football because it's just so bang bang. It's like there's no real room to get a running start. Guys are running into each other, but they're an inch apart. This isn't a wide receiver going over the middle having to worry about Ray Lewis. This isn't Saquon Barkley coming downhill. This is our quarterback is literally being pushed, and you guys aren't strong enough to stop it. To me, that would seem like one of the safer plays. I don't know. I mean, I'm a 5'3", $150, so I don't play the sport. I know Jason Kelce wasn't a huge fan of it, but then again, he's the center. So it might be a little taxing on him. But for the opposing teams, and we saw this in the playoffs, like they know what's coming and they know they can't stop it. But for that rat, Sean McDermott, who seems to get a free pass in this city because of the fact he's local, and I hate that. I hate the fact that Philadelphia seems to be the smallest big city where it's like, oh, hey, he's from there, so we have to like him. No, Sean McDermott can go F off. He can royally go F himself, claiming player safety. Sean McDermott doesn't care about player safety. Nobody in the NFL cares about player safety other than the players. This is the most violent sport, and all of a sudden we're caring about player safety. Okay. I don't think the push will get banned this time around. I think the Eagles' best hope for this is simply other teams get a little bit better at it, so it's not just the Eagles having this high success rate. Right now, the Eagles do it better than anybody, and you thought maybe they'd struggle with it this season, and their numbers went down a smidge. But when Jason Kelce retired, you thought, okay, how does Cam Jurgens going to do with it? And they were fine. Teams have stopped it. It's not like it's 100%, but it just cracks me up that you've got these mentally soft, fragile teams out there like the Buffalo Bills and like the Green Bay Packers who are going like, oh, we can't stop it. We need to formulate a better argument. There's no research. You know what this is? This is this thing of like, we had this in the radio industry. You just go, oh, check the tape. That was a go-to when you wanted to win an argument. Oh, check the tape, knowing full well that if somebody checked the tape, there would be nothing there. But you were banking on them not checking the tape. You're banking on them not stopping what they were doing and going to actually go through our archive player, find that specific date, find that argument, and they were just going to take your word for it. And that's exactly what this is with the whole argument that this is dangerous for the players. There's really no backup in terms of facts that say that this is any more dangerous than any other play in football. Yet, you've got teams out there who will continue to, pound the table and say, no, it's not safe, it's not, with no data. And I understand that that's just like where we are as a society nowadays. Like, facts don't matter. And I would be annoyed by it if I wasn't an Eagles fan. If I was a Tampa Bay Bucks fan, if I was a Rams fan, if I was a Seahawks fan, and I had to watch my team play the Birds and they line up for the push, I'd be annoyed, but I wouldn't be sitting there as a coward going, oh my God, we have to stop this because no one else can stop it, so we need to outlaw it. It's funny. My generation gets called soft. I'm a millennial. We get called soft all the time. And it's all about the participation trophies. This is the most participation boomer narrative that it's dangerous. This is a participation trophy. We can't stop it. We need to make it more fair. And I truly wonder this. Like, social media wasn't around when the forward pass got brought up, but I wonder if there was an outcry of like, this isn't fair. Gee willikers, they're tossing the ball now. We're supposed to run it. Because when the forward pass got introduced, there was probably one team that was way better at it than everybody else. And they mastered it. And you know what happened? Everybody else caught up. I understand it's a play you can't really practice as a defense. That's kind of the point. Here's an idea. If you don't like the tush push, stop it, one, or don't let the Eagles, or any other team for that matter, get that close. And then it won't be an issue. But as far as I'm concerned, Sean McDermott is the loser of the week. And there's a reason why his team just can't seem to get over the hump, because this is what he's focused on. Banning plays instead of getting his team better when he's got a behemoth of a quarterback that, by the way, should not have won MVP.